That's a good example of one of my chord studies in the guitar ladder system, and I'm trying to get people to understand that when you practice the right things and the information's presented, to your mind in the proper way, you can really make some huge quantum leaps. Back when I studied with Joe Pass, I noticed that. Let me do what I just did again here. See, even Joe Pass used to say, and I studied, I'm going to be 62 next month, but when I was in my early 20s, I studied with Joe Pass, and he used to say, if every week or two you just learn a few new ways to put chords together, you'll just make huge leaps, and it's really true. Let me do this again. Let's see here. I might do it different every time. But I want to explain, maybe it'll be easier for everybody to understand the guitar ladder system if I talk about how it came about. I mean, the guitar ladder system really evolved. I'm going to be 62 next month, but when I was in my early 20s, I studied with Joe Pass. And I used to notice, even when we were just talking about silly things like his sprinklers, at one point he mentioned a timer went off because he's timing his sprinklers and whatnot. But I noticed even when we were just talking about other players or whatever, and then he'd go back to his guitar, I noticed no matter where he ended up, he wouldn't just play one chord. He would just all of a sudden start, kind of improvising. And I just kind of made notes of that. I started making notes about people that I studied with as well as players that I listened to back when I was 18 or so. I started teaching when I was about 17 or 18. I'm going to be 62 next month. But over the years, with my own private students, I just kept refining and refining and refining my system. It got to the point where I had all these chord studies like Cycle 1. And, people would come in for lessons and they'd be trying to tell me, well, I want to do this and do this and do this. And I'd say, well, look, you're paying me. With all due respect, just do what I suggest you do and you're going to make some huge leaps. So the people that did that really did. And I had one student named Sean, if you're listening, hello, who at the time was a plumber and a fireman, but he had a great attitude. He just did everything that I gave him, he just did it. He didn't have a big ego. He just did the studies, and he made some huge leaps. One day he was at a lesson. He just started playing some kind of jazzy blues thing. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. Where'd you get that from? Like Eric Clapton or, Joe Pass or somebody? And he goes, no, I made it up. And I gave him a high five. And because when you practice the right information, your subconscious or your musical mind or your musical ear just starts exploding. It's really true. And I've sold over 1,000 guitar ladder courses now, and letters come in every day from people. And if you work even just 45 minutes, an hour a day in the guitar ladder system, you're going to make some huge leaps. You're going to get unstuck. And compositional skills are based on improvisational skills. So if you just love guitar and you love playing, but you want to get more out of your practice time, just invest in $199. It's a 6-year membership. You're going to get 200 lessons plus. You're going to get bonus material. You don't have to rush through the system, and I'm not going to bog you down with a bunch of boring theory. You're going to learn the 10 systems of improvisation by doing it. Like Cycle 1, for instance, when you do Cycle 1, you automatically, let me get closer for a second here. Like for Cycle 1, you automatically learn about smooth voice leading, common tones, and then there's some kind of a alteration of 1 where you add the little color like that. And it gets to a point where you almost can't stick with one of my cycles, which is what I want you to do, because you're going to want to just take off and start improvising. That happens. It takes a little bit of time, but when you start working all of my studies, it doesn't matter, which one they are. You're just going to begin to learn how to put chords together in a very musical way. Now, I also do have single note studies in there, but the real meat and potatoes and where you're going to get your massive growth is from the chordal work, because when you start resolving chords, it just stretches your ear and opens up your musical mind. It really does. You learn about high tension chords and how to resolve them, intervallic improvisation. You're going to learn about diatonic. about how to add substitutions. You can learn about symmetry, like I said, intervallic, common tone, chordal harmony. This might sound a little complex, but it's not. That's what's so powerful about the Guitar Ladder system, is I make it simple to understand. You can order it at stevezookguitars.com, but it really is. It's a huge, huge value for $199. It would be a great deal at $500 or $1,000. I used to charge $100 an hour for lessons. I've had people drive 200 miles. I'm not trying to brag, but I have. You can go to vintageguitar.com, put in Steve Zook, read a review of my original CD. You can listen to, some of my tunes at guitarladder.com. I forget what section it's under. I think it's under the Guitar Ladder section. You can listen to some of my original music, which is the real proof of the pudding. But if you love guitar and you just you really want to take some leaps, this is really a great system. And like I said, it just happens naturally. There's other single note studies. But like I said, the real bulk of it is the strides you're going to make from the single note patterns. Nice contrary motion there. And I might do this different every time, which is the exact point. So you just want to keep going. See, that's really the whole point. When you start working the Guitar Ladder system, you like I said, after you've been working it for a little bit, it might take you a few months. It's different with everybody. But when you start working it, all of a sudden you're just going to start noodling on your guitar, and you're going to be going up and down the neck with chords and putting things together in a very musical way. Sometimes you'll even just run into a standard, and but this is great material. It really works. There's nothing like it around. And like I said, it's all my own original material, but I did study with Joe Pass when I was young. I studied with Ted Green for a while. We blew each other's minds. I studied with Horace Hatchett, who taught Howard Roberts how to play when Howard was a young man in Arizona. Howard went on to form Musicians Institute in North Hollywood, one of the most successful music schools in the world. So this system is rooted in a legacy of great players, and I've put thousands of hours into this system. So like I said, it doesn't, you don't have to read music. It's chord charts or some tab, but it's a great system. But like I said, you start learning how to resolve chords, and it just creates some huge growth. And there's no rush. That's why I offer a 6-year membership. But you can order at stevezookguitars.com, and it's a great situation. It really is. You can read more testimonials at guitarladder.com, but it really is a powerful system. Okay, I'm going to cut this short, but have a good day, and you can order the Guitar Ladder system at stevezookguitars.com right in the home page. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at stevezook7@yahoo.com, or if you'd like the chart for cycle 1, and then I'll send you also a video overview of cycle 1 from the Hightail, so you can see how easy it is to download the system. That's what's so cool about it. All this material just comes right to your desktop. You just create a new folder, and it's easy just to slop it into the folder, and if you ever lose it, I'll send you another one. And I do spoon feed people out one lesson at a time. Sometimes I start beginning with 2, because I want you to take your time. If I was to send you everything at once, it would just be overwhelming, and that also helps me keep my costs down, to be honest with you, to do it that way. So it's a very, very powerful system. So if you love guitar, my suggestion is go for it. take care. Well, this guitar is available too. I sell the whole line of Loar arch tops and Recording King flat tops, and the Loar arch tops I get are clean too. You don't have to worry about cosmetic issues or any issues if one. It doesn't happen often, but if I ever get one that I don't like or I'm not happy with, we just send it back and get another one. It's no problem. I'm very tight with the company. The owner likes my playing. They used to have 2 of my videos for the 350 actually on the Loar.com for around 2 years. The national sales manager, Brian Jones, is a friend of mine. I go way back with this guy, even before he was national sales manager, and he takes care. He still handles my account. He dropped a lot of accounts, but he still handles mine. So you're in good hands. If you want a great Loar arch top, an L8 700 or a 350 or a 650 or whatever, or a Recording King flat top, I'll make sure and hook you up with a great one. And like I said, I'll make sure and take. Nobody puts the time into it like I do. All right. Take care. You can call me at 714-548-0385. I love this cycle, by the way. I play it different every time, right? Sometimes. But yeah, if you need a good Loar arch top, I'll get you a great one. All right, take care. And if you want to email me, Steve Zook, the number 7 at yahoo.com. Make sure and right, Steve Zook, the number 7 at yahoo.com. Take care.